Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. on Monday, February the 15th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect freezing rain with a high of 30. This sucks. Coming up today on Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota, LSU Executive Deputy Athletic Director Verge Osbury stops by at 7:30. Our latest weekend winners at 8 a.m. SEC Network baseball analyst Ben McDonald will stop by at 8:30. And Fox Sports' Aaron Torres will be here at 9:30. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN or watch live at the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Interact inside the Bayou Ford chat. Hour number 1 of OTB starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome in to a freezing cold edition of Off the Bench, as it is icy outside. It's crazy. I mean, I hope we see some snow. I don't know. Right now, I feel like it's a lot of the bad, of the good. I personally blame Matthew Musso. You can check the tapes. I believe it was last week. He was talking about how he didn't want snow. He hated snow, and here you go.
That's all accurate. And guess what? I hate this too.
Yes, Jake, you give me that
too.
quiz. I see that quizzical look on my new co-host's face, Mr. Jacob Hester.
Who doesn't like snow?
I know.
I don't, and he didn't clarify. I don't like snow in Louisiana because it's a nuisance.
My
Just
son's
like
gonna
all of
be
this is a
pissed.
nuisance.
Exactly. So it's his fault. You agree?
My 5-year-old, when he went to sleep last night, the last thing he said was, "I'm so excited for snow tomorrow."
I mean, was there, when you were younger, is there any bigger anticipatory feeling and then horrible crushing disappointment than going to sleep really just, there's going to be snow tomorrow, we're going to be able to make snowmen, we're going to be able to like throw snowballs around at school, all this stuff, only then to wake up. And the first thing you do, right? Like sometimes you kind of open your eyes and you don't even want to look out the window just yet because you know that's the point where Schrodinger's box is open and you're either going to have the snow or you're not. And then you look out and, well, I think you might have a heavy heart today.
Look, here's the deal.
Unfortunately.
Musso, it's going to be closed down anyway. Like, this city is going to be closed down anyway for ice, for rain. So why not just add snow? You can't go to the store. You're not supposed to be on the roads anyways. So why not bring some children joy and let it snow, Grinch?
Yeah.
Because I don't like it. It's just it causes more problems for me now in the older years. I mean, when I was younger, in the older years.
The older years.
I mean,
I hate to
17 years ago when I was 10 years old, I might be like, sure, let's have some snow.
Wow. I can see that icy heart from over here, Musa.
Yep.
Maybe that's why this room is always so cold. Hopefully we can thaw you out a little bit this morning.
This room's cold when I'm not in it.
And look, if you are listening in your car, please be safe. It is very icy out. I know a lot of the interstate is shut down. I-10 for Baton Rouge to Lafayette is shut down. 110 North was. We'll try to stay on top of the traffic updates and the weather updates as well. And then we're going to have fun. We're going to have fun at 7 to 10 a.m. off the bench. You already know. Let's go ahead and dive into some headlines brought to you by Barbecue Guys.
OTB headlines are brought to you by Barbecue Guys. They're your one-stop shop for everything outdoor kitchens and living. Barbecue Guys, helping America host better barbecues since 1998.
Another weekend and another tale of two teams when it comes to Louisiana basketball. The LSU, we'll start with the positive here. LSU basketball with a huge 13-point win over number 16 Tennessee. How about it? 78-65. The Tigers beat the Vols. You'll realize this is the first time they beat a ranked team in nearly 2 years. Last time was number 18 Tennessee, when Tennessee was ranked 5th a couple of years ago, 82-80 in the PMAC. It's been a long road to this point, but when you combine that win with the win earlier in the week over who'd they beat on
Mississippi
Wednesday?
State.
Thank you, over Mississippi State. All of a sudden, LSU shot up from 41 to 27 in their net rating. So a huge bounce back week for this LSU Tiger basketball team. They will now have a rescheduled game with Ole Miss, or I guess it was more created game at 8 p.m. this Wednesday after having both their Mizzou and Florida games canceled. They've now filled that slot with Ole Miss, so they'll be traveling to Oxford this Wednesday. But all of a sudden, Jake, this is an LSU team that absolutely feels and looks and is building the resume of a tournament team.
They played their best game against Mississippi State to date earlier in the week, and then they come back and they get a win that they had to have. Like we talked about it on Friday. They had to get one that they could hang their hat on, and now they're about to have another opportunity against an Ole Miss team that's playing extremely well to get another quad one win, which is something Will always tries to do, right? When he's scheduling these games, he always wants to get as many of these as he can. So some people might see, like, why is LSU going on the road again? I'm sure we'll talk about it here coming up, but that's the reason why.
Yeah, so Ole Miss and look, exactly, right? Will Wade has made no bones about it. He is a scheduling nerd. Yeah. He gets deep into it. When you listen to him talk about it, you become quickly overwhelmed because all the different angles that he's considering. So I don't think he cares. Ole Miss on the road, at home, whatever. We just need a good game. And look at what Jake was alluding to there. Ole Miss now has won 4 in a row, including a couple of ranked wins of their own. Beat Tennessee, Auburn, smash Mizzou by 21, South Carolina, and all of a sudden they've gone from the bottom of the SEC to the upper half. So 2 teams in their finest form going to meet Wednesday at 8 in Oxford. Going to be very exciting. The opposite of exciting would be the New Orleans Pelicans.
Yeah, boy.
I am an idiot. After I sat here last week and was like, no, guys, it's sustainable. Willie Hernan-Gomez. Remember that? Yeah, it's sustainable. It's going to be awesome because Billy Hernan-Gomez is playing now. Apparently he doesn't want to be called Billy, actually. But, well, I'm an idiot. They have now lost 3 games in a row. They're horrible.
With these players.
And so we'll see. We'll see if the Pelicans get active in that regard. If they try to make some changes, of course, Van Gundy saying that he's going to look at everything and give serious consideration to kind of major rotational changes. I know what a lot of people are yelling for, and that's like, look, man, you already suck. You're already losing to the worst teams. If you want to start to look forward to the future, Kyra Lewis Jr. is doing very nice things in limited minutes. The rookie point guard out of Alabama. Some people calling for him potentially start. So it's a storyline we'll kind of watch the week. But, yeah, the Pelicans not really convincing anybody that they should care, as every time they give you a little hope, they go ahead and squash that stuff right out. How about NASCAR yesterday? Opened up their season, Daytona 500. Inclement weather, inclement conditions, but they get it done. It took 9 hours and a 6-hour rain delay, but they officially get it done. Finishes after midnight. And how about the winner? Michael McDowell driving the Loves 34.
Loves coffee.
Okay, so yeah. Me too, right? And I was like, oh man, the Loves car, that's so cool. Musso, being very intelligent sometimes, except with his snow takes, points out how appropriate it was. Still your fault, the ice today.
Valentine's.
That's not.
Yeah, Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I love it. I didn't arrive there on my own.
Has anyone in the room been to an actual NASCAR race?
I have not.
Yes, they're incredible.
Oh, they're incredible.
Yeah. It's but I went in high school before I could drink, so I probably did not fully maximize my NASCAR enjoyment.
No moonshine in the infield,
No. But I did get like a sample can of like peach skull, and I was like, oh, look at this.
How'd that go for you?
I used to like peach skull in high school. Then I stopped.
Did you sit in the stands, Hess, or did you go the RV route?
RV. Yeah, I was
See, I've never been in the infield. I've just been in the stands. But yeah.
Different life.
I would imagine
in the infield. Yeah.
One day, sporting. We'll do we'll an off the bench. Yeah, NASCAR infield.
We'll hook
trip.
up with Ryan McGee. We'll get in the infield. Yeah. We'll do a show like live from the infield.
I want to say they had 30,000 people there. Yeah, so one of the biggest sporting events in the U.S., maybe the biggest.
I think it's the biggest since
the pandemic.
Yeah.
But either way, it takes 9 hours to finish, 6-hour delay. Michael McDowell driving the Loves 34. First career win in 358 starts. This man has been grinding. If you want to talk about perseverance, adversity, all these things, This man has been grinding his entire career, finally gets that dub in the Daytona 500. I don't care who you are, how you care about racing, anything. Like, I think we can all kind of appreciate that, right? Congratulations to Michael McDowell. Had 101 odds to win. So if you were the random person that bet on McDowell to win, congratulations to you. I know some of the big news was surrounding the new Michael Jordan car, MJ23, driven by Bubba Wallace. He ends up finishing 17th. Did lead a lap at a certain point, but, racing, loose tire, whatever. Daytona 500, though, shout out to all the NASCAR fans of their season starting off with a bang. And speaking of season starting, LSU softball played 3 of their original 5 games they were supposed to this weekend. Beat McNeese 8-0, like we talked about on Friday, then lost to Duke 4-8, who Duke was ranked 25th. And then beat Kansas 5-3. We're supposed to have a doubleheader against Central Arkansas on Sunday that was canceled due to the weather, and it's been rescheduled as a single game February 23rd. Also was supposed to play your school, Jake, your favorite school, La Tech, on Tuesday.
See what you did there.
And that has now been moved to April 6th.
Well, April 6th, the Bulldogs are
Go
going
Dogs.
down, okay?
Go Dogs.
You can't even do it. It's like, no, it's like
it's a weird hand symbol. It just kind of feels like my hand's going to cramp when I'm trying to do it. So those are your headlines brought to you by Barbecue Guys. Coming up next, we got some boots on the ground gumshoe reporting from Jacob Hester as he has been infiltrating LSU football school. What has he seen? What has he learned? Also, Devonta Smith or Jamar Chase. We'll talk about it all. And we got Marissa Nuzzo to give you a little weather update here on Off the Bench, 104.5 with the 94.7 ESPN.
OTB headlines are presented daily by Barbecue Guys. Remember, the most popular grill on the market is Blaze Grills. Premium gas grills that combine expert engineering and dependable performance. All backed by a best-in-class lifetime warranty. Visit barbecueguys.com or our local showroom to learn more about Blaze Grills. Off the Bench with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Go to All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. If you're in the market for a new vehicle, let All-Star be your answer. Okay, look, they can find whatever you need. That's what they did with me, where, I didn't, for about a decade of not needing a new car, had to get not one, but two when I joined the All-Star family twice. Not because I had to or I'm getting any sort of deals, but because I just legitimately loved the purchasing process, right? I mean, it can be very overwhelming. Didn't know exactly what I wanted. They got me in a beautiful Toyota Sienna, all black wheels, black interior, black exterior. And then the Toyota Camry. Needed something a little more affordable, wanted to lease it. And the bottom line, I mean, I was a blank slate entering the process. And like I said, they guided me to exactly where I needed to be. And now I'm very happy with being a part of the All-Star family. You will be too, right? They have great deals. The 2021s are here. Toyota certified used vehicles you can rent for the weekend. They have the answers. Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Off the Bench, hanging with Esther and Hanny. After further review and more are all live daily on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel. Subscribe now to interact with us inside the live chat driven by Bayou Ford.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Tune into a Friday edition of Game Time, live from Ruffino's on Highland Road. We get you ready for all the action on deck this weekend, and Barstool Ben Mintz joins the show from New York. Jimmy Yacht's Game Time, 10 a.m., 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome in, OTB. T-Bob, Jacob, Danny, and Musso hanging out with you this morning. About to get a boots-on-the-ground report from our girl, Marissa Nuzzo from WBRZ, as she is keeping everybody on top of the weather. Talk to her real quickly about what we need to know. Also, maybe what's the difference between freezing rain and snow?
Good question. We were trying during the break.
I am not a meteorologist. Okay, I'm not a meteorologist. No answer. Try again there, Moose.
She's probably mad at Moose's snow take.
Oh, busy? Okay, we'll call again in like a minute or so. Until then, until we get Marissa, we'll go ahead and dive into some LSU talk. Jake, as we were talking before the show, and generally at 7:15, unless there's some big news, maybe like a weekend baseball series, I like to leave with LSU football. You have some boots on the ground LSU football school reporting. When did you get to go see LSU football school?
I went one day last week. I think it was Wednesday of last week, and I went out and just wanted to check it out. Wanted to see what the vibe was. And one of the things that, and I think we talked about at the end of last week, is how they handle the quarterback situation, because they do have to keep all 4 guys engaged, in my opinion. You want everybody engaged in this competition. And one of the things that I noticed was, for Jake Peets, every quarterback gets every rep. And if you're wondering, like, wait a minute, how is that
explain
possible?
this. How is this possible?
Okay, so there's not a football at football school.
There's no football at football school. There's
football school.
A delicious irony there.
All right, so you've got to like do the whole fake, go through your motions or whatever. So what they do is they get one guy out there and he goes through all of his progressions, but the other quarterbacks are right there with him doing the same thing. So they don't want anyone to think right now, hey, you're getting all the 1s and the 2s and the 3s. Every quarterback goes through every rep, and I thought that was a good way to keep those guys engaged. So that's definitely something that I noticed. And also, Jake Peets, most energy and the loudest out there, which is something I think is a good thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, that kind of speaks to the youthful energy, right, that we've been talking about. They've been wanting. Okay, we have Marissa on the phone. WBRZ's Marissa Nuzzo. Marissa, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I know you have very tight windows here, as you will be keeping the state informed all day long. Let's just start here. What do you think is the most important information that we need to get to our listeners right now?
I would say everyone just stay home. The roads are extremely dangerous to be traveling on. Ice is not the same as snow. It really creates a very slippery surface that you can't see very well. Also, things can start breaking at any time. There's a lot of ice starting to accumulate on tree branches and on power lines as well. So that's something that we're monitoring here in our newsroom is the possibility for some power outages and widespread potentially fires we're looking at as well.
Oh, wow. How about this then? Maybe in a bit of lighter news, a lot of people will be staying home today, which means a lot of kids have some hope for snow in their hearts. Obviously, the ice is here. Will there be anything resembling snow?
You know what? It does look like some snow is starting to build in, which is actually really good news. I was getting some pictures from Zachary earlier of viewers showing me a little bit of snow. So it is possible, especially later this afternoon. We're actually going to watch temperatures drop throughout the day today. So that would increase your chance for snow. So it's definitely possible.
Okay, and then last question here for us who are not professional meteorologist, Marissa, what is the difference between snow and freezing rain? I just always thought that snow was just frozen rain.
So freezing rain, when it's falling, it's really just rain, but it's so cold here at the surface that the liquid water that's falling will start to freeze onto surfaces, and snow was just frozen all the time.
There you go. Marissa giving us the need-to-know information. Hey, look, I know it's time to let you go. Anything else that that we didn't ask you about that you want to get out there?
I just want everyone to stay home and stay safe and stay warm out there. It's very cold.
All right, thank you so much. Follow her on Twitter, at Marissa Nuzzo, WX, also WBRZ. Catch her all day. She'll be keeping you up to date this morning. Thank you, Marissa. Have a great day. Okay, so Jake, you were talking about the quarterbacks, talking about Pete, talking about that energy. I'm with you. Look, this quarterback room needs to stay engaged because I don't know who's going to win the job, but whoever does, I think will be very good because I think it's the most talented. Definitely the most experienced quarterback room that I've seen since probably the Jamarcus Flynn type of days with Perilou. Exactly.
Jimmy Walker.
Did you? Hey, my guy, dude, California's finest,
There you
right?
go.
I mean, yes.
There you go.
I remember Jimmy Walker living on our couch for 3 days after Gustav back in the day at WCA. Anyway, did you pick up on? Since we're on the subject of quarterback. Eye test. Did you pick up on anything with the guys? Not like who's doing the simulated snaps better, but like did anything jump out to you? Like size, like comfortability. Obviously, it would have been the first time that I think you would have gotten eyes on Garrett Nussmeier.
Yes. And so, God, I even hate saying this because I know we've said it so many times. Miles Brennan does look bigger.
He looks big.
I know his weight's been talked about. Like, he looks like significantly bigger. Like, he looks like a different cat out there. Max Johnson looks a little bit different, too, in a good way. So this is a very talented quarterback room. Obviously, all these guys are going to be competing. You've got a young guy in Nussmeier in there as well. So I love competition at that position in the springtime. And I realize where we're at in this day and age of college football. All four probably not going to be wearing the purple and gold when you open up the season. That's just the way it is now. But that competition is going to breed excellence. And you said it. Like when Jamarcus Flynn and Perilou were here, those guys got after it every single day in the springtime leading into the season because Matt Flynn will tell you every time you ask him, like, I thought I was going to go out there and win the job every single year because it was a real competition. I know a lot of people don't believe that, but it was, and that brought the best out of Jamarcus as well.
So, okay, so that's the kind of quarterback breakdown. For what it's worth, if we're just, like, placing bets, I do think Miles wins this job. I think he has the most experience. I think he has a confidence gained by last year, even with the injuries or even with the injury, because he really was playing so well in those 3 games that we got to see him. So I do think he has the inside track. We'll see where it goes. Any other observations from football school that kind of jumped out at you? I know it's just, it's a weird thing to try to draw conclusions from or takes from.
You can tell Keishawn Butte's the guy. You know what I mean?
He's carrying himself with that alpha energy.
He is. When you walk out there and you see him running his routes and you see him just walking with his peers, you're like, okay, that's the dude.
Yep.
Like even if you didn't know who he was, you'd ask, okay, who is that guy? What's his name? Because he had that energy about him, which I think he has the potential to be the next great one. And we've had a long list, but recently when you talk about Jets and you talk about Jamar Chase, I mean, he has the opportunity to fall kind of in that line. And I love seeing him walk that walk when I went out there the other day.
Yeah, I mean, I guess going for over 3 hundo in an SEC game to win the game and go 5-5. I mean, that'll give you that alpha type of status. Want All right. And then, Jake, were the defensive coaches there when you were at football school? Did you get any eyes on
they were, but
just no.
Defense.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, there you go. I agree. They're not very intelligent. That is
they're
definitely true.
They're born turds.
Yeah.
I'll go to my grave saying that. No, but they were on the other end. I was staying kind of more focused on the offense and
turd. Is that a Philip Riversism there?
/ Joey Hester. Yeah.
Okay. Right on. Speaking of receivers, you're mentioning Keyshawn Butte. LSU has, like you said, a long lineage. One of those members of that lineage would be Jamar Chase, who is currently the #1 ranked wide receiver in this upcoming draft. A lot of people surprised to hear that. Jake, I always like picking your kind of NFL insight. If I were to put Jamar Chase and Devontae Smith next to each other, why do you think so many people are landing on Chase over Smith, given the fact that we just saw Devontae Smith win a Heisman?
I think it's just the physicality of Jamar Chase. I mean, when you look at these two guys side by side, and that's not taken away from Devontae Smith. I don't, I understand where he played, but you got to give that young man his credit. I mean, that young man went out and dominated college football like we've really not seen at that position. So he is going to have his space in the NFL. But I think teams really look at these two and they realize, okay, teams are going to try to get physical with Devontae from the get-go, right? Can he get off press coverage? Can he do the things when it's not as easy for him? They saw Jamar kind of do some of those things a year ago. So I think just the physical nature of Jamar's body compared to Devontae and what they run in the 40 is going to be important as well, right? Mm-hmm. Jamar needs to go out there and run a low time, which I know he's going to. So if I have these two guys and they were both uber successful in college, they both run, 4.4s or even lower, whatever that might be. Their stats are kind of similar. Okay, what's going to be the common denominator? Well, Jamar Chase is going to be over 200 pounds. Devontae Smith's going to be 175.
There's kind of a little bit of, I don't know if irony is the right word, but it's interesting that Devontae Smith, like the same thing that has always hounded him, the kind of doubt created by his size, will again come to affect that kind of decision in the NFL. It's just the reality of his situation. So, more motivation for Devontae Smith to try to prove people wrong.
Maybe he can do like I did and go chug a gallon of water right before you weigh in on pro day.
Oh, okay. You should have just stuck my old man's old center of the Saints, Joe Hilgenberg, was an old Iowa wrestler, incredible pass blocker, played 10, 12 years in the NFL, something like that, at like 265 playing center. He said he used to weigh in more, get so mad he would weigh in with 5-pound weights in his girdle to just add a little bit
for
there.
Him.
Yeah, that's beast mode.
I would have been a little nervous to get on the scale at pro day with 5-pound weights in my girdle.
I don't think the meat market would allow it.
Probably been blackballed from the NFL. Yeah. This guy's trying to cheat already.
Okay, so look, we got Verge Osberry coming up. We'll talk to him about obviously some of the news recently with the recruiting class finishing up, some transfers coming in, a little football school there as well. Keep it locked right here. If you're watching on YouTube, like it, share it, all that good stuff helps out the show, get the numbers up. And we'll be back with more Off the Bench here on 104.5, 100.3, 94.7 ESPN.
Off the Bench. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, Trolling Motors. At front to back, they got not one, but two NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to Front to Back Boat Service.
Visit Acura of Baton Rouge for attractive offers on the MDX.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Yo, join us for a Monday edition of Hanging with Hester and Haney, presented by Richards Honda from noon to 3. We'll recap how the Tigers fared against the Volunteers on the hardwood, and also recap LSU gymnastics with their big meet, and LSU softball, and much more on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome back to Off the Bench. Bill with T Baggins saying in the 5-4 YouTube chat, I just got in my office. They said, screw it, now everyone's going back home. Your office kind of blew that one. Yeah, sorry I had to go in at all. Everybody, if you are on the roads, be very safe. Drive slow. Again, Marissa came on. What was the one piece of advice she had? Just don't drive. So be very careful if you are having to go into work or not. Todd Jones asked about LSU basketball. I'll get to a bit later. But first, let's go to the phone line. We got our guy, Verge Osbury, Executive LSU Athletic Director. And we have him on every Monday at 7:30 a.m. Verge, what's going on, man?
Nothing but cold weather all over the place.
Yeah. So maybe you can warm us up with some LSU football insight, Verge. Now, to be clear, I want to just start here. Can you speak specifically about Mike Jones because he has signed or no?
That's a good question. Yes, I think he has signed, but I'm not going to say anything because I don't know definitely yet. I know he committed to us, and I don't know if the paperwork went out to him or not. So I'm not going to make any comments on him. He is a transfer kid from Clemson. I do know that.
So then how about this then? Instead of getting into any sort of specifics, it seems like if you just look at the last few years, Verge, maybe no school in the country, and maybe follow LSU, so maybe there's a bit of bias here, but it certainly feels like no school in the country has a better hit rate at filling in the gaps, filling in the corners with not just bodies, but with guys who can actually play. Like what is y'all's strategy, and how have you been so successful at kind of identifying these needs and then convincing very good players to come fill out those needs?
You got to give a lot of credit to our player personnel office. Those guys back there, they're the guys who sit there and they monitor that board. And T-Bob, in this business is also the coaching board in the war room. That's the most important board you have. That's going to be the board that tells you, who's seniors, who's going to leave early, who's not going to be here, who's going to transfer. You got to anticipate that. It's almost like baseball recruiting now. You got to anticipate when somebody's not going to be on your program. So what positions you need to fill. And then not only fill with guys who have years to play, but guys at the back end. But the guy only have 1 year to play. You need some younger guys in those positions too, and that changes your recruiting process. So you say, okay, where you weak at on your team, what weak spots you have, and where you need more depth at. I'm not going to say this young man will come in and start, but he's a very good football player. He'll have the opportunity to start, and that's where you needed that position to be upgraded at the linebacker position. So those are the type of things the player personnel guys do to monitor that with the coaches. Coaches during the year, they're coaching on the field, and they know they have a depth problem in the area, but they don't want us to keep telling the coaches, hey, look, we need linebackers. We only have 3 linebackers. This is the backups. We don't have no young linebackers on the pipe right now. We only recruited 2, and so we're going to be short. You can't have a team with 5 linebackers on it. So that's what those young people do, and that's how you have to recruit now. I mean, it's almost like free agency right now. There's a guy, not having other schools, after a year they can leave. And so, like I said, coaches have to do 2 things: to keep the players they have happy, and you have to communicate with them, and you have to have good chemistry with your current team, which we did this year. And you also got to be able to go out and pick out some cherries out there from other teams.
Well, and that's exactly what y'all have done. The latest, Brian Thomas Jr. joining this 2021 class, now up to number 3 in the nation, passing up Georgia. And I don't even care about getting the specifics of the player because people know Brian Thomas. Like, his talent speaks for itself. Just give us some perspective on the kind of organizational effort that it takes to put together a class that ranks number 3 in the country.
It takes a lot. It starts at the top. Coach O meets with the player personnel people, depending on what he wants on the team. And then the coaches also have to be involved with it. But bottom line, every coach, if you're a good coach, you know what type of player you want in your room. A player might be ranked high. He might not be the player you want in your room, but you have to coach these guys. And, I don't get caught up in these recruiting classes. Recruiting classes are good for T-Bob, get coaches fired. There's all anticipation there. Everybody think, oh, wow, we got the red class. We're national championship next year. Yeah, right. You don't know how good a kid is. You know where they play in high school. And when they get here, all of a sudden that 5-star kid is like, oh, wow. You signed him, so I don't get caught up in those recruiting classes. I say get the guys that you need to win games, which you need to fill your holes on your team. So that's what you have to do. You find good football players. Booger McFarland was a 2-star. Jefferson was a 2-star. You go down the list, all the 2-stars we had. Jacob Hester, 2-star. Go find me those kind of players to help you win. You see, those kind of guys that have it in their heart, tough guys. You get caught up in stars and, the great stars, and that doesn't help you. So the thing we have to do is make sure that these guys are good football players. And, you sign a guy, the best kid from Lafayette, a good football player. He doesn't look pretty. He doesn't have a great body. He doesn't, he's not a fast guy. But you know what he's going to do? He's going to, 4th and 1, he's going to get that first down for you. He's a tough kid. Malik Neighbors from Como High in Lafayette. He might be the chase of the class, the best of the class. It's said and done.
Wow.
So those are the kind of guys, you want in your program, tough guys, good football players in your program.
Hey, Virg, I was talking with Commissioner Sankey, I think it was last week, and I asked him about spring football practice. And he said, I'm going to leave that up to the individual school. So I'm going to assume the full plan is to have a normal-ish spring football practice and have the scrimmages on the weekends, and then have maybe even a spring game, obviously not open to the public probably, but have a normal schedule as far as spring, if it is going to be left up to the schools themselves.
We're trying to LSU. Our model, we want to get back to normal as possible. We know there's going to be some bumps in the road here. We know there's going to be some testing going on, a lot of testing going on. We know there's going to be some setbacks for us, but, we're going to try as much as possible to get back as normal as possible. We have a football school going on right now. We're going to have spring practice. We're planning on spring practice. We're planning on having a spring football game. I don't know the attendance of those type of things yet, but we want to get our football program back to normal, starting in the fall. we want to have fans in the stadium. Hope the vaccination thing keeps working the way it's working. And we want to get back to normal as soon as possible and try to make everything back to normal. We have to. It's important to us. It's important to the state of Louisiana. Important to LSU. So that's our goal. That's our mission right now. Now, things could change. We can't tell you that. We have to, you have to be flexible on type of issues. I can't just say, we're going to do this, this, and this. Because a lot of things could change, Meet the governor's office and state officials about the health concerns and health risks. And, it look like the numbers are moving in the right direction around the country. Numbers are dropping and people taking the vaccine. So hopefully, we get here in the springtime and starting in July, we'll be able to get back to normalcy.
I mean, yeah, hopefully, man. Nothing was sadder last year than an empty Tiger Stadium. Verge Osbury, Executive Deputy Athletic Director. Verge, so I was talking to Jacob about football school. He got to go check it out a little bit. He was giving some of his insights. Thought it was interesting. The quarterbacks were getting to take all the reps. Loved Pete's energy. Have you been able to get out to football school yet and get eyes on these guys?
Yes, I have.
So do you have anything that kind of jumps out in the same way that jumped out to Jacob?
Yes, a lot of energy. It looks like we're back to that team we were the year before. Like I said, I don't know the talent, but really the communications, the chemistry. And I know what Jake was seeing there. The camaraderie with the team, the coaches, and they're talking to each other, and the communications. And like I said, I don't see all these off the field problems and issues with the academics. And that's what I look at. I look at the academics. I look at the drug tests. I look at those type of things. I see those things. I see guys going to class, guys going to study hard. Academic staff reporting to me like, this is the best we've had in a long, long time. That's important. And Jacob would tell you, that's how you build a program. You look at national championship teams and SEC championship teams. You look at the people on those teams, and you say, wow, those are all good guys. Look how successful they are after they finish playing. And that's what we want in our program. You find out you can't win with bad people. Okay, how good or talented they are. That's that recruiting process we were just talking about, the evaluating process we were just talking about. You can have all the best players in the world. If you don't have the right chemistry within that locker room, on that field, doing the things right off the field, you're not going to be a good program.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting. I know that Jack Marucci has kind of a character metric that I don't know how what goes into it, but he has found a lot of data that suggests that the most high-character teams are the ones who end up winning the most. So a lot to be said for that. Verge Osbury, thank you so much for waking up this morning. Stay safe, stay warm, stay off the roads, all those things.
Yeah, so we're playing on basketball. We're trying to change the basketball schedule so there'll be some games played here coming up. We're working on that. We have a great week of sports baseball starting this weekend. Ooh. So I just want everybody to be checking LSUsports.net and watch what's going on.
Thank you so much, Verge. Cannot wait. Again, if you missed it, LSU Ole Miss now gonna go again toe-to-toe in Oxford this Wednesday at 8 p.m. So we'll talk about that a bit later and show with Aaron Torres, as well as the great weekend that LSU basketball had when we get back here.
Jack, you mentioned he broke it down as far as how teams can be successful with the right personality.
You're talking about Jack Marucci.
Jack Marucci,
yes.
You were just mentioning that. He actually broke it down into area codes. Area codes
Really?
From where everyone came from and where the best guys come from each area code.
And 318 just pretty low on the list,
It was actually at the
unfortunately.
top. But
Wow.
I wasn't going to mention that. I'm
At
glad
the very
you did.
top.
It was at the very top.
It was the best area code.
It was, as far as character and on the field performance.
Wow. If only
See, I
you
wasn't going to
guys-
mention that. I was just mentioning that's how much they break it down.
No, that's great. I mean, if only you guys didn't constantly send people to Alabama, I'm sure that would
that's
be even
more
higher.
Will Blackwell's territory.
Yeah.
I'm over to the west. He's to
okay.
the east.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. All right, so when we get back here, we're going to wrap up hour number 1. Give our thoughts and prayers to all the Silversmiths out there. And there's a few takes in the huddle that, in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat that I want to get into as well. It was Verge Osbury and the JimsFirearms.net hotline. We'll be back more Off the Bench next.
Off the Bench.
Go to Go Roof today, GEAUXroof.com. Look, inclement weather, freezing. It can be tough on your home, right? And if you have any roofing issues, any leaks, anything of the sort, anything that maybe this storm creates, you want to get in touch with my friends over there at Go Roof, GEAUXroof.com, 927-8300. Very easy number to remember, 927-8300. You lock it in, okay? You call them up, hit them with the roofs up when they answer. They love it. They're fun guys, right? But they're more than being fun guys, they're professionals. You're going to give you a free professional estimate, okay? Come out, and it doesn't cost anything up front. You figure out exactly where you stand. You make a fully informed decision. They're going to work on your roof. Everybody's licensed, bonded, and insured, okay? And then they stand by that work. They offer a 2-year workmanship guarantee on top of the manufacturer warranty. So peace of mind before, during, and after, and you get a beautiful new roof every shingle time. Again, during this weather, especially hit up Go Roof, GAUXroof.com, 927-8300.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject to credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
At All Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At front to back, they got not one, but 2 NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to front to back boat service.
Acura of Baton Rouge for attractive offers on the MDX.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR presented by Relief Windows. We'll recap LSU, Tennessee, and hoops, and it's game week for LSU baseball. Getting you set for baseball at the box. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Thought Jeff George was a wuss.
Jeff George talk here during the break.
Yeah. Rocket arm. Not a lot of toughness. According to the old man, at least.
Yeah,
but then again, that's who the old man was backing up in Atlanta at the end of his career, and he thought he was super soft, yada, yada.
He's not, I mean, a lot of people think Jeff George is super soft.
What spurred it was...
You can tell him I said so, too. Jeff.
I know. It's like, you can talk crap about Jeff George and feel pretty good that it's not going to matter. What spurred this was some Trevor Lawrence conversation. He looked really damn good at his pro day. He had that one throw on the run that he launched about 70 yards. That was kind of mind-blowing. But you were saying, Jake, you're a little unsure about Lawrence, maybe.
Well, it's more in the big games. And like you were just saying, it's not the stage. It's not the stage that worries me, like all the bright lights. He's been growing up, going to all these camps where he's had every eyeball on him. But when the talent gets more to being on an equal platform, he doesn't look to be superhuman like some of the great quarterbacks do. And he has a tendency to be a little inaccurate when he's facing better DBs that play press coverage against his receivers and they are not wide open, i.e. the LSU game, the Ohio State game this year. So if there is a knock, that's what they're going to be trying to pick apart when they have these meetings with him. Ask him, okay, why against North Carolina do you do this? But against LSU and Ohio State, you do this.
Yeah, and inaccuracy is key there because he missed throws. It wasn't always that it was just like all of a sudden, like he was being asked to overcome, a team that just wasn't as good as the other team. No, like a lot of times the guy would be open and he was just missing in some of these games or he'd be under duress. So we'll see where it ends up going. I do think that, well, first off, I think I've always been horrible at quarterback takes, but I do think that Josh Allen's turnaround, Justin Herbert kind of blow